Cigar Company is your one-stop shop for all your cigar needs. Whether that's a brand new humidor, a box of those new cigars you've been waiting for, a top-of-the-line cutter or lighter, a place to enjoy the finest cigars and spirits with friends, or the only cigars grown right here in the Sunshine State, we've got you covered. Come visit one of our retail locations for the ultimate cigar experience. Visit us online at coronacigar.com.
How about that cigar?
How about that cigar?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Corona Cigar Studios for episode 226 of How About That Cigar Live. Guys, thank you so much for joining us live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and if you're listening after the fact on the audio podcast, thank you so much for listening to How About That Cigar on your favorite audio podcast platform. Take just a minute, share us out to your favorite Facebook cigar groups, and hit those like and subscribe buttons. It really means a lot to us and helps us out a ton as well. So here in the Corona Cigar Studios, it's 27, 28 degrees out.
It's starting to get a little cold.
Yeah, but inside it's, perfect 67 degrees.
But we're really lucky. We've got a half an inch of snow out there right now.
Yeah.
It's the middle of December. We'll get punished in January and February, but I'm happy with this right now.
We're going to get punished, I think, temperature-wise. I don't know about snow-wise, but I think temperature-wise, we're going to get punished.
Well.
Yes, David, we did miss you. Thank you very much.
Hello, David.
Great to have you here as always, my friend.
Let's talk about getting our big guy over there, the bearded one, on the camera.
The great bearded producer, Mr. Justin Lawler. Justin.
Hey, brother.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
I had to turn off the game.
Yeah, you were getting a little freaking snippy.
Why would you do such a
thing? Green Bay's playing the Giants right now, and I was just getting way too into it.
A little bit on the edge.
Like I always do, so I just had to turn the game off. If anybody wants to give live scoring updates, in the comments.
No, unless Green Bay is losing, because I don't want to deal with him.
No, unless Green Bay's winning. You just want to poke the bear. That's the problem.
I can't help myself.
Well, let's talk about your Jets.
Yes, they pulled off a victory.
I mean, it wasn't just a victory; it was a trouncing. They did stop. They killed the Texans.
And the Vikings played soccer on Sunday.
Whoa,
I heard about that.
It was a soccer game.
Oh.
So Vikings 3, Raiders nothing.
Okay.
It was scoreless until
6 minutes left.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So that's like historic. There's only, I think, since the formation of the National Football League, I think there have only been 3 games decided with a 3-0 score. The last one was in 1988, and then yesterday happened.
So at least we're making history, right?
Yeah,
it was like European football.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah, it was. I didn't watch the game. I just watched I did have the game on in the house yesterday, and
apparently there wasn't much to watch. So.
There really wasn't.
Yeah.
So we're all at Reds. We had our Reds Christmas party yesterday. We were all there. Somebody had the balls to say this is a great defensive game. It wasn't. It was just shitty offense.
Because there are really low scoring games where you can say that, where you can say this was a fantastic defensive effort on both sides.
Yeah.
But the defenses were just playing keep away, essentially. I mean, it was both offenses looked completely exhausted. Like from the very beginning of the game, it's like, you know, the first drive starts and you're looking at both these teams going, are these guys asleep?
Yeah.
I mean, they seriously looked tired. So I don't know what that was about, but that was interesting. So the Wild, Minnesota Wild are still like just incrementally making improvements since they fired their coach about, I don't know, 3 weeks or a month ago, but they're still just really not putting up the numbers that they need to. They're second to the last in the Central Division. They're just,
I mean, is it too late to say there's always next year for them? Or
I honestly, I mean, it's only December.
Yeah.
But the Wild are probably not going to fare too. Somebody's got their volume. Growl.
Fucking rookie move.
But yeah, they're just, I don't know.
I was getting into the cigar.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you.
It's so
I don't blame
good.
You. The Dreamer Lancero. Look at that.
It's so good. It's
Look
Lancero.
at that. Well, that actually leads us into
the
it doesn't lead, it leads
rum.
us into our guest, but it also leads in. Before we do that, let's talk about the mystery beverage.
The mystery beverage is 15 years old.
Ooh.
15 years old.
It's from Panama.
Almost
and it's
old
a rum.
enough to drive.
And it's a rum.
Panamanian rum. Well, I poured the glass about half hour ago.
Yep.
It's had plenty of time to breathe. It smells fantastic. It's like butterscotch and like those really nice like natural rum, grassy kind of floral notes. I'm going to get a little sip here before we bring on our special
And for
guest.
those that don't know on this show, this month is Rum Month, brought to you by our Puerto Rican friend, Raul Ramos.
Wepa!
Oh, man.
And I am drinking a non-alcoholic hops water
Hops water.
because that's what I do.
You know me with the root beer.
Oh, it's, yeah.
Fletcher.
Should we find out what
This stuff's really good.
I know.
The first taste, it's...
I haven't given you shit yet.
It's got great texture. It's probably right at that 80 proof mark, which I don't mind at all.
Is there a party in your mouth right now?
There's there's a lot of like there's the sweetness kind of reminds me of like fruit, like dried fruit, dried figs, and you get those dried peaches and apricots or whatever. This is really good stuff. I'm going to try to decide. I don't know a lot of I only know a couple Panamanian rums, but I'm going to try to decipher this as we go.
We should probably find out what our guest is drinking.
We should absolutely
bring
do that.
him in there.
Guys, it is time to bring on our special guest of the evening. And as always, special guests on How About That Cigar, brought to us by our friends at Drew Estate. And Drew Estate originally introduced Chateau Real in 2007. Not long after that launch, this cigar brand mysteriously disappeared, and the story became that only of folklore, legend, and even controversy. Now, Chateau Real makes a triumphant return exclusively at Drew Diplomat retailers, a luxurious blend crafted to highlight the cigar's Connecticut shade-forward flavor. Its balanced blend of well-aged Nicaraguan binder and filler tobaccos are wrapped in a beautiful Connecticut shade wrapper leaf. This cigar is available in Robusto, Toro, and Churchill only at Drew Diplomat online premium cigar retailers, presented in 20-count boxes. For more information, please visit drewestate.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please help us out, put your hands together, and welcome to episode 226 of How About That Cigar Live from Luciano Cigars. Ed Trevino, welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah, I wanted to have some good amount of smoke for the introduction there, so I don't think it worked. It sounded cool in my head.
So what are you smoking, brother?
Dude, I'm smoking the let's see, where's my camera here? I'm smoking the Tiago Familia Elejita, the new release. This is the Habano wrapper. Using a Habano wrapper binder, Nicaraguan filler. Just released under the new branding. Beautiful. Familia Elejita means chosen family. Tiago is Tiago's splitter, co-owner in our company. Just a great dude, NBA All-Star. coach of the Rockets, great dude, just a personal friend, great guy. I just met him through this business, but Luciano and he have been close for a long, long time. So chosen family, often better than blood family, especially with my crazy ass family sometimes.
You got that right.
Yeah, friends are the family you choose. That's
right.
definitely true. So I think, I mean, these guys have cigars going. I think it's time for me to
better get a cigar.
I think it's time for me to get a cigar.
Can I say one thing?
Of course you can.
I feel out of place right now because I'm the only one without a beard. And your beard looks phenomenal. We know Justin looks phenomenal. Yours is pretty good too.
It's all right. It's all right.
But me with this baby face and chubby cheeks.
Dude, somebody check this guy's ID, dude.
Why? So we can get him the senior discount?
Oh, wow.
How about we do that co-stand, buddy?
Starting off hot.
All right. So I am going to fire up Maria Lucia.
Ooh.
And
Beautiful.
I'm very excited to smoke this guy.
That is my favorite cigar, second favorite cigar behind Luciano Dreamer.
Oh, dude.
That Luciano
Thank you,
Dreamer,
man.
I'm a Lancero guy. I love that ever since it came out.
Holy soccer squatch.
I got to be careful because my arm is still tweaked from, I hurt my arm a couple weeks ago.
I mean, I don't know if we got workman's comp here or not.
Still
Be
tweaked.
careful.
Yeah, we don't. And I didn't hurt it doing cigar stuff. So it doesn't, I can't really get.
We won't tell you what he heard it on.
Man, I think you were holding that soccer squatch too low, man. You got to go a little higher on the thigh there.
Right,
Move it around.
We call it masturbation.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Man,
There.
you're going off the rails quick.
So, back to the Dunbarton.
All right, let's get my cigar fired up here.
All right.
Here we go. When lighting your cigar, it's important to be patient, pay close attention to detail, and focus on the tobacco. In the same way, Steve Saka brings those same qualities to the ultra premium cigars of Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Patience, close attention, and focus on the tobacco are the qualities that Saka and Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust have become known for. From Sober Mesa to Umbagog, Dunbarton has a blend that will fit your palate, your mood, and any occasion. Visit DunbartonCigars.com to learn more. There we go. And every time, it's like I didn't even move my lips.
Just getting that ventriloquist
I know.
down.
It's impressive. I want to say thank you to our friends at Drew Estate who brought me in as a guest. Thank you for sponsoring that. Thank you to Steve and for sponsoring the lighting up with a cigar. Great people all the way around. We love that. It's really cool, man. We got a lot of great friends in the business and they're great people. So
Yeah, this business, honestly, the longer I spend time getting to know people in the cigar business, one of sort of our phrases we keep repeating here at How About That Cigar is cigar people are the best people.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
And I've just found that to be the more and more I meet people, in this business, the vast majority of them are just really cool people that you want to hang out with. You want to share your life stories with, stuff like that.
Speaking of really cool people and life stories, and we got Ed here. I'm sure he's got plenty of that to go around tonight, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
There's pressure. I want to start off. Someone just said hello. I don't know, CP Hunt. I'm not sure if that's our boy Courtney Hunt from California. Is that a good? Is that him or is that another?
Yeah, from
Dude,
he's
no?
on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not sure. First time
Yeah.
I've seen him on here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good evening.
Well,
Well,
I've known that guy a long time. If it's him, and if it's not him, I like this guy too. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's cool.
well, Ed, one of the things that we love finding out from people is about their first cigar experience, because everybody's first cigar experience is a little different. So do you remember the first hand-rolled premium cigar you fired up, if you happen to remember what it was and what the occasion was?
I do. It was let's see, back in 1994, I'll say. Probably giving away a lot of personal information here, but it was funny because it was actually on my 18th birthday, and I smoked a CAO Cameroon at the time for my local retailer, and I went in on the my 18th birthday to get pipes and cigars because me and a bunch of buddies were actually in Bible college together. And we're so dumb. We're thinking, like, how cool would it be to do our theology homework and smoke cigars at the same time? And so that's what we did. Our little study group did that. And we all got together. And then I never looked back from cigars. Started working in the shop part-time. and then got picked up by CAO. So my first cigar was actually a company I worked for when Chano was alive, and then stayed with them a long time, and then now here with Luciano Cigars. So I remember the cigar fondly. It was what really turned me into this world and helped me to understand the craftsmanship of the product, but also the community of people.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That and I know, I did a little bit of
say more. I don't know.
No,
Maybe I was supposed to say more. Right? That was a short version.
You're
I can do the long version if you want.
You're breaking up a little bit here and there, so I think the connection needs to sort of improve. But we'll give it a second, and it'll sometimes it heals itself
out.
Yeah. But you mentioned starting to work for CAO, but even before, has pretty much has cigars been your business, your way of earning a living pretty much since you entered the workforce, or did you have other work interests before cigars?
Yeah, I started really early at 18, and so for me, that was really early. I did work at like a water park when I was a kid as a lifeguard, because I think I was out there wanting to save lives and also see pretty girls or something. I don't know, but also it was I worked at a sandwich shop, those kid jobs, those first jobs, but once I found the cigar shop, it was definitely important to me to stay in that world. I had other jobs that, kind of paid the bills, and I worked through the corporate side of things and insurance and stuff like that. But I always had my toe in the cigar shop, and I got promoted pretty much as high as I could go with the company I was with in insurance. And then I was like, man, I hate my life. So I'm going to go work full time at the cigar shop and take a 65% pay cut because I want to be happy. And so I did that and never looked back. And ever since then, took some of the corporate background and stuff that I learned there, and then used that in the cigar world and moved through. And now Luciano is crazy enough to let me help run this the organization for him. So, yeah.
I wouldn't. I'd call him crazy like a fox.
Yeah.
So
it was a good move by him.
He's a good guy. Good guy.
So,
thank you, guys.
I'm curious. Also, you started, on the retail side of cigars, and then working for CAO. Talk us through the progression, and some of the people who you've worked with, companies you've worked with, and especially one of the things we love hearing from people is the names of some of the good people who have mentored you along the way in the business of premium cigars.
Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, it's part of the journey, and it's often overlooked by people. And you learn good things, you learn some not so great things over the years. But you often, if you're not, always learning, then there's a real problem. Mm-hmm. And I've been really fortunate to have some great people, teaching me through the years and helping to move through stuff. But for me on the retail side, I worked for just a family that was trying to create something for their family. It was very, very kind and very cool. And then they realized that when CAO had a need, that I was the guy that really should be running it to become their Northwest regional sales manager, which consisted of 13 states from California over to Kansas. So that's kind of crazy. But working with them, and that's where I met Jono Osgener. Jono was one of the sweetest, kindest, most intelligent people that I've met in my life, and he was very, very kind. And I studied a lot from him and learned a lot from him. And his son Tim, who was the president of the company, taught me a lot as well. And then as we're moving through and doing a lot of that and kind of learning the business and figuring out that the world is so much bigger than just my little local cigar shop, they taught me a lot on how to do these sorts of things and carry kind of my people focused mentality into a world of something that I could, help serve in this manner to do. And so they were great. And then Chano is still very, very close to my heart as he passed some years back, but was really, really great and instrumental in taking a chance on a dude from a local shop in Sacramento, California, to bring him in. And I owe him a lot of gratitude for that. And then as we merged together, there were quite a few people, that kind of helped and listened and paid attention. Gary Hyams at the time with Scandinavian Tobacco Group and everything as they were, purchasing CAO and merging together, purchasing the majority of General and merging those together and merged them all together, brought us all together. He was a great listener and a good leader for sure in my life. And then moving in, I worked for this guy named Chris Tarr at General Cigar. And this is one of the smartest business guys and most relatable guys that I know out there. He's just a really good dude. He's hard to work for. He demands excellence. And at the same time, I learned to really respect that and work as hard as I could for a guy like that was honest, direct, push to make sure and pull the best out of everybody that worked for him. So he may be uncomfortable as I talk about these sorts of things. So sorry about that, Chris, but he's always been instrumental in building up who I am in the business, taught me a ton about the business side of things. And then as I left that side of the business, just to try to get a little bit more personal and outside of the larger kind of more, corporate kind of work, because that's such a big machine there. I started working. I wanted to get back with small business and kind of help people and really kind of get back into that side of things. So I left there and then helped a local guy near me to build up his business a little bit. And then went into working for some of the old guys I used to work with at CAO during the COVID years here, and helped them out in the West for the guys at Crown Heads, which are just great guys too. I learned a lot from, connections with, John Huber and those guys, and Miguel Shodell, just really good people. So that was really cool. Taught me a lot there, but also just were always advocates in that. So met some good dudes there. And then that's how I met Luciano. At the time we were distributing Luciano Cigars, and he was getting into the market with his own brand. And I realized that this is a special dude. This is a dude who is so different from anyone else in this industry. He's so genuine and humble and pure, intelligent, caring, and so people focused that he just he had a different mindset. So many different countries and all this extra. He connected up with me on that for that. I think I kind of zoomed out a little. Is that right? Everything will go okay?
Yeah, you're back now.
You're back now. Yep.
Cool. So yeah. So met Luciano, and just that dude is so different, and he's such a great guy. And then he connected up with me, and it became time to take his brand and make it first fiddle in the minds of everybody, and create a sales organization that could get together and promote and kind of complete the circle of seed to smoke, or vertically integrated as they call it in this industry. So he wanted to take his brands to premium cigar shops, into the consumer base through his own sales team, but he felt as if I was the right guy to do that. So he came to me and asked if I would help him build that, and I told him, I said, I'm not sure I know how to do this. And he says, you know more than you think you know, and I want you because of your character. And that was a huge compliment in my world. So character is all important to me, for sure. So I joined up with him on that, and only made a few mistakes, but he's right. I did know more than I thought I did, and we've been doing great. We've built up a great sales team, and we are exploding, and you guys see the momentum. I mean, great product, vertically integrated, with a great team of people who care about people and care about cigars. There's no other thing that could be more important to me. So Luciano's been tremendously important to me and his family.
We also always say that the cigar world is a family.
Yeah.
But in Luciano, you really see that. You see that in the company.
Dude,
you see that
it's legit.
When you talk to
it's
him,
totally legit.
you can really see that come out.
Yeah. People talk about family. They throw that around. I've been in the corporate world where they talk about, oh, we're all family here. Employee number 74286. You're part of the family. And I'm like, that's not really family. When I have an employee number. But at the same time, Luciano and his family has been gracious to me and to many other people. Panda, Mike Grieg, all these guys that have just brought into his family, and many more that are in Nicaragua that we know and love. And it's truly a family dynamic.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I love hearing also from people is the stories from when they do have a chance to go to the country of origin of these cigars. So for you, going to Nicaragua, visiting the factory, visiting the farms, what is your favorite part about those trips and the process that you get to see and learn from while you're down there?
Well, shoot, I can go to Nicaragua and get any pair of Jordans that I want, for cheap.
I like
pretty
it.
Cool, I guess. They're not really Jordans, I don't think, though. But no, I've been to Nicaragua quite a few times over the years with CAO and such, and then moving through, and then been to Dominican, been to Honduras, all that stuff. But going to Nicaragua back in August with Luciano was a very different experience. It wasn't guided in any way. It wasn't like, hey, check this out. Here's a cool spot to see, or whatever. It was just like rolling with Luciano and going out there and doing what he does day to day as he creates and as he monitors everything. It was really, really cool to see. Great experience. It was really kind of in the depths of things. We're going to bodegas and there's like a Rottweiler standing over there staring at me like he wants to eat me or come over and get pet by me. I couldn't really tell. But we were there to check out the tobacco, and then I made friends with the little Rottweiler, so we were cool. He didn't eat me. But it's a different experience because you go and you see the pride of the culture and you see that people care so deeply. And then it kind of puts a little pressure on my shoulders. It's like, man, we got to actually perform and sell some cigars in the U.S. to make sure and take care of these people that are working so hard for generations at making these great cigars that we get to enjoy sometimes casually and sometimes in groups. And we have this lifestyle that's afforded to us because of the efforts of these people in these countries. And so I want to do the best I can possibly do just to be able to help and support these people and their efforts and their families' efforts to create this wonderful experience that we have. So I love Nicaragua. I love the people down there. I love the hustle and bustle and craziness. I love the realness of it all.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun. And with Luciano, we get to see a lot of the realness, and there's just, the farmers and the joy on their face and, with what they're doing and create. It's just so cool. So
yeah,
if you haven't done it, I say go do that. But I know you guys have probably done that.
No.
I've been a couple times.
No.
I've been to Nicaragua a couple times, but these guys haven't had a chance to go yet.
Me and Justin haven't been there yet.
We got to fix that, man.
So we'll make it happen. Definitely.
I'll tell you, Justin, not a single person in Nicaragua has a beard like ours, bro. So it's like you're walking around. I have my big aviators on. I'm smoking a cigar. And I'm walking around. People are driving by almost like running into stuff. They're like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, what's up? I'm American. My bad. We're good. Love you. Hugs. But it's so cool.
Luciano has been generous enough to offer a trip for us a couple times, but the timing has just never worked out. And I've talked to him a couple times and just promised him, I said, we will make the timing work one of these days. I promise. It's just up here with day jobs and families and all that, just making things like that work. It's tricky, but we'll make it happen.
That's who he is and what he does, man. He just, he's just a giving guy, man. So
I got a question for you. Well, we got a bunch of questions for you. While you're down there and you're visiting the farm, has a thought ever popped in your head like, I want to make my own cigar for Luciano? I want to blend my own cigar.
That's a good question.
I can tell you genuinely 100% no. I have not thought of making my own cigar. It's like a serious craft, bro. It's like a real skill. It's something that I think has to be in the blood. And maybe that's because I see everyone that's working there and the different aspects of production, that it's so real and genuine to them. I personally would almost see it as a little bit insulting, saying that, I'm a cigar maker and I go in there, it's like the company is cigar makers and full of cigar makers. But man, I'll tell you, I have a different set of skills, and I think this world is great because people have different journeys, different backgrounds, different things to bring to the table. And that doesn't have to be mine, but I can love the cigars and help, like I said, in another way, is I can help try to create a passionate sales team that cares and is efficient and does great work and brings great experiences to consumers here in the U.S. and abroad, to support those people that's their passion. So for me, I haven't had the desire to do that. I haven't had desire to, make cigars. I've tried it a few times and it's way harder than you think it is. It's just it's a real art, and I'm not super creative like that.
Well, but it's cool because what, like you said about people kind of finding their spot, selling on its own, but not only selling, but also building a sales team and guiding a sales team, supporting a sales team, mentoring and cheering on a sales team is its own set of skills. It's its own art, if you will. And it's been shown in not just the cigar industry, but a lot of other industries that, those successful sales teams are ones that do have the kind of mentality you're talking about. They have that it's a mentorship mentality instead of a management mentality. It's got a family aspect to it. It's got a guidance aspect to it. It's not just nickels and dimes. And from the sounds of things and from what I know of you and what I know of Luciano, that's sort of the driving force behind the philosophy that he goes by.
Yeah, totally. I mean, listen, we've all worked at jobs where, they say people don't quit jobs, they quit managers.
Yeah.
And there's some truth to that for sure. We've all had jobs where we're like, are you serious right now? Is this really going on? And you're doing these things. But at the same time, man, I believe that people are uniquely qualified and they have different life experiences, and mine aren't the same as yours. And yours aren't the same as Luciano's or anyone else's that we meet. It's just if we come together and use our strengths and be able to kind of create that, we could be so much stronger together than we can if we have to make sure that everybody's equal or the same or, all these things. It's like, man, my background's so different from your background. I mean, I don't even know what to do in 28 degrees just to start. How do you shovel snow? I don't know. I don't want to learn it. But at the same time, we can still be able to hang together and we can create together and we can support people that are in communities. And that's one of the biggest things that got me into cigars is that you can sit in a room with people from all different socioeconomic backgrounds, all different, races, colors, experiences, whatever they do, and we're all just hanging together and laughing together because the cigar is what brings us together. And we're better that way. We don't need to, be like, hey man, I want the same as you and you want the same as me. I don't know,
Yeah.
But it's not the same, man, because, what I prioritize in my life may be stupid to what you prioritize in your life or, whatever. But at the same time, we need to be able to kind of work together. And that's kind of how I do everything. So our sales team is a great example of that, man. We got some dudes that are just out there, man. Just like, I'm like, how do you even process, man? How do you even think? But you get stuff done, man. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you go do that and empower you to go do it, and that's what's cool about working together like that. I don't need everybody to be like, 9 guys that look like me and do what I do, because, people in different parts of the country are like, that guy's an idiot. I don't want to work with him, but we need to figure that stuff out and work it together because we all care.
I remember I had a sales manager once years ago, because I haven't been in the sales game for more than 20 years. But this one sales manager I had a great line. He said, if I call you, you better not answer the phone. And what he meant by that is you better be in the middle of a call with one of your clients or one of your prospective clients, or in the middle or in a face-to-face conversation with somebody so important that I am too important. It's too important to stop what you're doing and take a call from me. He said, I'll leave a voicemail. I'll send you a text. Although this was actually like early in the days of texting.
It was a pager?
It was, actually. And he said, you better not answer the phone when I call. And I thought that was a great philosophy, because he wanted us to be engaged with the people. So that was cool.
Yeah. I mean, to this day, I'll call my guys and, and I'll find myself, because there's always stuff to be done, but I'll find myself just like going into, why I'm calling them. And I have to stop myself. I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry, man. Is it a good time? Are you good right now? Is there something I'm gonna call back later? Or I'll text them in advance and just be like, hey man, it's a good time for me to give you a call. Let me know. Yeah. Cause I got to run by a couple things and, and check it out. And, we have to work together like that, because no matter what the roles are that are given to us by a company or society or anything else, there's a human being on the other side. And we always need to take care of that human being and be respectful.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that Luciano and I, when he and I got to know each other, we kind of developed a fast friendship. And I really appreciated that, because we had a lot of things in common, some family stuff in common. And some history stuff in common, and also we had what are you making faces?
Did you? I want that pocket. He just kept pulling cigars out of his pocket. It was like a clown show.
Magic pocket.
I saw Raul stressing out, dude. Raul's like, dude, what's in there? What's in there? What's in there?
He just kept pulling them out.
That's awesome.
Didn't mean to get you off.
No, I love it. I love it.
But I'm like,
Freaking Raul just T-boning the conversation.
Everybody should have a magic pocket like that, though. Honestly.
yeah.
But one of the other things that Luciano and I connected about right away and still connect through to this day is music, because we have similar musical tastes, similar musical backgrounds. And if I'm not mistaken, you also have some musical background in you, and so that's something that's in your heart. So talk to us a little bit about your music background.
A little jazz flute, Brazilian jazz flute, though. That's why Luciano hired me. Brazilian. No, for me, I'm not a super creative guy, in a lot of ways. And I tell some people that are caring, like Luciano, and he's like, no, it's not true. Don't say that. You are creative. It's just a different kind of creative, I guess, than maybe what people would normally think of. But for me and what I do in the work is always just, there's a certain skill set that's in place that I love, and you can work with people in a certain way. And that is a creative way, is to make sure and bring out the dignity in every individual you talk to, rather than search for equality, And I do love that aspect, but there's certain ways that creativity needs to escape, I think, us as human beings. And for me, I've been playing the bass guitar for a very, very long time. And I'm not necessarily a great player. I've been playing for long enough, you'd think I'd be better. But at the same time, what I do is it's kind of an outlet and an expression for me. So I volunteer at the local church and I play some bass for them. And do that. I've been doing that for a long time. So you put me a little chord chart in the corner and say go, and I can usually help. But you tell me, hey, we're gonna do this in the key of G flat with a major 7, and run that with a swing beat with a little bit of a bassy tone. I'm like, what'd you just say? I don't know what's going on here. But I just love that, because it's a way for me to just be expressive in a different way through an instrument. So bass guitar is, we always have those things where we work for money and we don't necessarily buy what we work in as much, but we always spend all of our money on stupid things off to the side. It's usually bass guitars for me.
How many do you have?
That's a question I'm not sure. My wife is watching this video.
One, just say one.
Yeah.
For the record.
Yeah. Well, I think there's 6 on the wall, so at home. Okay. So she knows about those for sure. No, she knows about all of them. It's a thing for me. David says you play like Victor Wooten. No, I do not play like Victor Wooten, but I know who that is. That dude's dope.
Yeah.
I actually have a bass signed by Victor Wooten that I actually showed him, and he was at a concert I went to, and he's like, yep, that's my signature, bro. And I was like, dude, so I got a picture with him. It's cool.
Nice.
But I do love that stuff. But I bought, I don't know, there's probably, 8 or 9 or so, and there might be one sitting in a shopping cart right now that I'm debating on.
Right on.
Early Christmas gifts, right?
Right.
Yeah, my brother's a bass player.
Oh yeah.
But he used to have a lot. But he pared it all the way down to 1. He's just got his original Fender P bass.
Yep.
Just the OG 4-string, Fender P bass from the 80s, yep. I think. And he loves that thing. It's the only one he still has, as far as I'm aware. I mean, maybe he's bought more since we've talked about it, but
dude, that neck on that bass is giant, though. It's like a baseball bat on the P basses, man. I
got
a jazz bass, a little thinner neck. The thing's like a beast, man.
No, he loves it though, and he plays pretty well. I mean, he's had like 5 strings and 6 strings, and what's that?
What does he like to play? What genre?
He likes funk. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That old 70s P bass sounds good.
Oh yeah, I mean, you get a little, you get the thumb going, a little bit of slap here and there, and it's pretty cool. He's good too. He really is good.
Slap at the bass.
I slap at the bass.
There you go.
I've heard it a few times. I'm like, no, I don't do that.
Well, some news came out this week that is pretty exciting, and that is the new cigar that's I assume going to be shipping soon. So tell us about that one, Ed.
There was a new cigar coming out?
I think so.
Maybe.
I'm totally kidding.
I was like, oh shit. I think of a different brand. I know it was Luciano Cigars. I did my research. I know it.
Yeah.
I had a Matrix moment for a second.
We don't have anything on the docket. What are you talking about? No, exciting news. Yeah, totally exciting news, man. We just announced that we're launching a cigar called Underrated. And Underrated is just a cool concept of a cigar, man. It's going to be, first of all, it's going to be in a real great price point. Because, we talked about a little of the culture of our company, and our company is all about people. And people deserve a great cigar. And even if they want to spend a little bit money or a little less money, or that's where they're at, they want to have a great cigar in that price point as well. So, this cigar is going to MSRP right around that $750 to $850 range for the sizes, which is just a great price point. That we're going to see. We're shipping it in January. But what's cool about this cigar is that, man, it's got really high-end quality products. And since we make cigars and grow our tobacco, we're able to kind of do things in a way, especially with some of the harvesting that we've done and some great that we've done as far as how a little bit lower price point. And instead of just like saying, well, shoot, this thing smokes like a $15 cigar, so we should sell it at $15. That's just not how we operate. We want to create a cigar that is just great. And if we can create that cigar and still sell that at a retail price point of, $850, then we want to do that because we want to take care of everybody. Everybody should have a great cigar, what they're looking for. So Underrated is a cool thing. And I think you're already kind of getting the concept and idea of why it's called Underrated. And then you'll see, in the logo and everything, the Underrated logo, it's got a line through it. So we're saying, it's like, are we saying it's an underrated cigar, or are we saying it's not underrated, or what are we saying with it all? And that's going to be cool to hear the conversations as we're moving through on that cigar. But it's got, San Andreas wrapper. It's got Pueblo Nuevo Mito Tempo cigar or tobacco in there. It's got a Chincagre kind of fermentation style in there, which is super unique to us, brings out a ton of flavor. You've got, HVA in there. You've got really high-end tobaccos that are going to be in here that you would normally expect a pretty high price point on, and it's going to be in that little lower price point. So it's going to be kind of a luxury, great smoking cigar experience in a kind of an everyday price point. So that's going to ship in January.
Very cool. Do you know offhand the sizes that are going to be available to consumers?
Oh, tested me on this stuff here. Let's come back to me on that one because I do have that.
Okay. Well, I think it's cool because I think every
there's a Toro, there's a Sublime or Sublime. Then there's a Robusto, and I think there's a Corona Gorda in that. I think there are the 4 sizes in there.
That's our size.
Corona Gorda. You had me at Corona Gorda.
That's our size.
Yeah. So I really hope that one's really going to be there now because that'd be stressful.
We'll be calling you. Hey, what happened to that Corona Gorda, bro? Come on.
Yeah.
In his pocket.
You're like, dang it, my bad.
It's got one.
Let me look in here. Where's it?
It's a tube that goes around his waist.
Right.
Well, I think it's cool that I think every company needs, and not that Luciano cigars were high price point cigars, because really overall the lines are what I would call moderately priced cigars. So there's nothing that's outrageously priced in any of the Luciano lines that I've seen. And but I think every company needs that more entry level price point cigar, because when you got cigar smokers who, don't want to spend a lot on a cigar, maybe they haven't reached for a Luciano cigar before because they say, well, $12 is just too much for me, which, for us who smoke cigars every day, $12 is kind of an average price point. It doesn't really bother us. But for somebody maybe who's either new to the cigar smoking hobby or
is on a budget,
that gives them an intro to Luciano Cigars as a brand. And, it can be that thing that, maybe starts that love affair with that cigar consumer and Luciano Cigars.
And if you're on a budget, that's a good cigar you can smoke every day.
Exactly. Yeah. Buy them by the bundle, buy them by the box.
Yep.
I think that's the cool thing about this cigar too, is it's not like we're, talking about, let's come out with a budget cigar. That's not what it is. This is a let's pass something through that's the right price, because we want to be truthful and honest in everything we do. So the whole story about Underrated is about surprise. the few people that we've had smoking this cigar right up front, just trying to, it's like, one of the first questions I'd ask them is like, hey man, tell me what price point you think this would fall in, and be honest, man. I mean, we need to know. We're trying to figure this out. Dude, I didn't get a single guy talking about under $15, and it's like, dude, these things are like, just the new norm is so high now, on cigars and everything, that there needs to be just a cigar that just stands out and is a great surprise to you. We have some traditional cigars that have been around for, decades and decades that are, still in that price point, that are good cigars, made by manufacturers we all know and love. It may not be their crown jewel or whatever, but for us, this is another crown jewel, another jewel there that we can actually put out there that's just gonna happen to have a lower price point. So from that aspect, it's actually really cool. Everything about this cigar is surprise. I mean, how do we get so much sweetness and boldness in one cigar, and have it come out at that price point with HVA, with Ecuadorian tobacco, with Pueblo Nuevo, with broadleaf, with, San Andreas, all these things that are in there. You're like, dude, are you serious? How does that even happen? And that's a testament to the craft of our farmers and our factory employees, and being able to create something that's going to be a perfect burn and great and smoke great and have all these great tobaccos. And Luciano is a blender trying to put this stuff together to make it taste like it does and come out with, one of the strongest and sweetest cigars we've ever come out with in our portfolio before. It's just super cool to be part of that.
So what made you come out with this cigar in January rather than waiting for PCA?
Oh, good question.
Do you have another one coming out at PCA?
Yeah.
Good answer. Well played. Well played. Yeah.
I thought you froze for a second. I'm like, are you freezing?
What happened? Where did that guy go, dude? He just got stuck. He's so animated, but not right now. It's weird. No, we have you guys know, man, we're a factory, and we're making cigars. And if you've spent any moments with Luciano, you know that dude has always got tobacco with him. He's always blending. He's always creating. It's part of his DNA, man. He has to create. So there'll be no shortage. Us coming out with a cigar now is not necessarily a cigar that is pulling away from us not having something at PCA or shoot, I don't know, June, or pick a month, pick your favorite month of the year. I don't know. We're gonna have something that we can do and create, because we're cigar makers, as a company, and this is what we do, is we create amazing stuff. And this is a cigar that's gonna be ready late January, so that's when it's coming out.
Well, and it's so cool to see him in action. And I know you have dozens of times, Ed, but if you get a chance to be at an in-store event where Luciano's there, he brings this tote, this plastic tote of tobacco with him, as far as I know, pretty much everywhere he goes. And when he was in Minnesota,
well, didn't he just cut a couple cigars up and remake them?
So he did that. Yeah. He did that too. So he would take like one of his own cigars and take the wrapper leaf off of it and put a different wrapper leaf on it right there in front of us, or he'd make a brand new blend from scratch. And he had tobaccos in this tote from Peru, from obviously Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, Honduras, Ecuador, but he had some from Peru, he had some from Africa, he had some from
there's some Afghani tobacco or something.
Pakistani tobacco, and he's rolling blends for us, and we're passing them around, and it's just so cool to watch him work. And
he had 15-20 of us just mesmerized.
Yeah. We're all sitting around in a circle, and he's trying different tobaccos, and he'd take like a little piece of just one leaf and just smolder it a little bit to, give everybody a little smell. And that's just one of my favorite parts about the process, is getting to sense all the individual tobaccos, and the way that he does it, the way that Luciano does it when you're at an in-store event with him, he really brings the process alive.
Yeah.
And
sorry to be looking at my phone.
He kind of puts you on the rolling floor in a way. It's really cool.
Sorry to look at my phone while we're talking here, but I know you guys are not doing that because of the Green Bay game or whatever. But I wanted to show you this picture real quick, because this is a picture of, from the back seat, Luciano rolling a cigar in the front seat as we're rolling down the Pan American Highway, dude, in Nicaragua.
Nice.
And I'm like, this dude is like making cigars in the car as we're cruising down the road. This guy
I
can't
love
stop, man. It's amazing to see. Just super talented. And I guess if you could make a cigar in the front seat of a car while you're going down the Pan American Highway, I guess you can make a cigar anywhere. So
Yeah, do it.
Hey, can we talk about the new branding of Tiago and anything new coming from them?
Dude, we
Or
can
from
talk
that
about
line, I
anything
should
you
say.
want, Raul. As long as Matt and Justin approve, we can talk about whatever you want.
Well, we can't talk about the Packers because he's going to choke me out. But
It's not
I
7-7
promise.
anymore,
I won't
huh?
choke you out. I won't choke you out. I'm gonna check actually.
Yeah, so while he's checking that, before he gets mad and throws something, we just released the Tiago. I was just smoking one earlier, the Familia Elejita. That concept of Familia Elejita is chosen family, and Tiago is Tiago Splitter, NBA All-Star, also partner in the business with Luciano. I've known him a long time. He's Luciano and he have been friends for a long time, and sometimes family that you choose is tighter bonds and more connected than even blood sometimes. And those people are important in our lives as we grow. And so we wanted to honor that relationship and honor Tiago in that manner. Plus, it's really cool to see pictures of Tiago, who's really tall, and Luciano, who's not. So it's kind of neat to see those guys in pictures together. But they end up, kind of having a cigar line that can kind of showcase that relationship of chosen family. So you'll see everything now with this cool little T logo, and
Nice.
Tiago written on there. You'll see all that stuff coming, and it's hitting shelves right now. So, and here's the little Familia Elejita. It's hard to see, but
Very
cool.
nice.
like that ring you got on too.
Oh yeah. This was a gift from Luciano. Again, I mean, just a caring, giving man, but something he had created and made in Germany.
Oh, cool.
It's solid.
The little tobacco leaves on the side and everything. It's like super cool. I was like, man,
Yeah.
that's so kind. So kind.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Germany, that's another cool connection, with Luciano, because this relationship and collaboration now with Salih Delay from Germany, and I've been a customer of his. I've bought cigars from him, for years. Stuff that I either can't get in the States or just would rather buy from him for years now. And then we finally got to meet him at the trade show at PCA back in July, and super cool guy, super down to earth. And that's another cool project to see those guys come together and collaborate, on this Istanbul project and some other stuff. So talk to us about kind of the dynamic that you see from those two guys as sort of two like fellow mad scientists who kind of get to put their heads together.
Yeah, what's cool is the Delay Istanbul and the Delay Nicaragua are the two cigars that we're importing into the U.S. and we're the U.S. distribution for Salih, who is our German distributor for all the brands, including those brands. And so again, this is chosen family, man. This is Luciano and Salih have been close for a long time. Salih's doing great things in Germany to bring cigars to everyone. It's not just the banker fat cats or anything like that anymore. It's bringing the culture and the community of cigars just to everybody. And Salih is just so great at that. He's just such a good human being. Again, a genuine heart. So as a result, it just made perfect sense. We have Salih distributing our stuff there in Germany, helping even with other countries and certain aspects as far as relationship building and such like that. And then, his cigars are so great that they should be in the U.S. as well. And so we can do that. So let's just get together and just do that and take care of each other. And Luciano makes the Delay Nicaragua, which just got some great ratings and will continue to get great ratings. It's kind of the sleeper in our line. I tell people all the time, it's like, man, you may not have tried this cigar, but you need to try that Delay Nicaragua. It's in my opinion, that and White Panda were the two best cigars that we were bringing out at the trade show for PCA. And sales showed that, but it was really, really good. And that cigar is such a great cigar. So it's just more families, more relationship, more people hanging out together, more people that like each other, doing what they do to help each other, because we all can do what we do to help other people that, maybe don't do that. And, and that's how things work out really, really well. So Solly is a good personal friend, great guy, super huge in the cigar community and great for the cigar community. And we're happy to be part of that. We don't make the Istanbul, but we do distribute that for him.
Right.
And then there'll be more stuff coming.
Very cool. Yeah, he's a character. He really is. Yeah. And it was cool getting to know him in Las Vegas. And he's one of the things I appreciate about him and really anybody in the cigar industry, kind of in the day and age that we're in. He is super active on social media and he's not shy about it. And it's so great. He's a really good promoter, and but he's also a really good what's the word? I don't want to say judge of character, but he's a really good guy at finding quality collaborators. And he's done that time and time again. And him collaborating with Luciano is another example. And he doesn't like to get into business with people who just don't really vibe with him. And I know that he vibes with Luciano and a lot of other people in the cigar business. And I thought it was exciting to learn about that collaboration with him and Luciano. And I think there's nothing but positivity that's going to come out of that.
Totally, man. Good people find good people. That's why you guys connected with Luciano. That's why, I connect with you guys. It's just good people find good people. We do different things, Nobody wants to see, Ed Trevino podcast, but you guys are killing it. And this is what we do is we get things together and we work together to figure out, how we can be there and support each other, what we do. And we don't have to all do the same thing. This world would be terrible if we all did the same thing. So it's super cool, actually. And you're right. Solly is one of those guys that finds good people because he is a good person. And it's been cool.
Yeah.
It's nice when people that have like aura
totally
connect, and then they just make the bigger aura, bigger light. And
honestly, it could be people with divergent interests. They don't like the same music, they don't like the same art, they don't like the same food, all that. But
let's put it together and then make something beautiful.
Yeah, but if they just vibe on like an intellectual or just a philosophical or a personal level, the opposites can just really put together some cool stuff, man. Yeah, that's totally true.
Dude, it's totally like that. I mean, shoot, my wife is my partner and everything. I love her to death, but it's weird. She can't figure out which one's the front cup holder in the car. She's like, the front one is the one closest to me, right? And I'm like, no, the front one's the one front of the car, dude. What are we doing here? It's just we get totally opposite. But she's my partner to the core, man. She's just everything. But we see things. If there's two ways to do things, both of us are going to find a third, in different ways. So it's super cool.
Yeah, honestly, every time we get into the car, I keep if I have a cup and she has a cup, I just wait for her to pick a cup holder, and after she picks hers, then doesn't matter. I don't care. I'll put wherever there's an empty cup holder, I'll put my cup. You pick first, because it changes every time, and I really don't care.
My truck has 3 cup holders. If she can have 2, I'll take 1.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. And she needs 2, probably, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
1 for water.
Did I hear in the background a Justin noise? Did he say something? Is there a noise back there?
I'm here.
He's there.
He speaks.
Yep.
Justin does talk. I promise everybody, Justin does talk.
Always.
I'm just talking
only during the show, though.
Sorry, Justin.
He talks during the show, then afterwards you get silent, or before the show. It's like he's winding up for the show.
Justin is a deep thinker. Justin is a deep thinker. He has very deep thoughts about. Seriously, he has very deep thoughts about the world and the universe, his place in it. And
I agree with you. He's a mad scientist.
He is a mad scientist. He is a mad scientist.
I've seen his notebooks.
That's absolutely true.
Those are dudes you watch out for. You keep them close. You guys are smart. Those guys have already figured out 15 ways to kill you, but they just like you enough they won't worry about it.
David's got it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 20 to 13 Giants. That's Green Bay for you.
Oh, yeah.
That's Green Bay.
Always next year.
It's always next year. All right. So Ed, we're coming up on the the Christmas season, which for me It's my absolute favorite time of the year. Not going to lie about it. I joke with people. I start listening to Christmas music very early. But you know, every family celebrates the holidays in a different way. Christmas, New Year's, all that stuff. But is there anything maybe that a lot of us in America would consider non-traditional that your family does for the Christmas season?
Let's see. Man, that's a solid question. Let's see. I think that maybe we do a lot of the traditional things, but for dinner, we don't always do like a Christmas Eve. We don't always do like a crazy dinner or do all these, things. We just make my mom's old spaghetti, her original recipe spaghetti. So
Nice.
we have spaghetti for every single Christmas Eve. And I don't know, maybe it's probably not a normal thing unless you're in Italy or something. Maybe that's normal there. But it's one of those things that maybe we do. It's a little different, but for us, it's, there's a lot of aspects of, the real story of Christmas in our minds. And we speak a lot. Just the birth of Christ and what's going on, just a little manger and a star, and that's pretty much it. So we're kind of those people, which I guess in this world, maybe people would think that's not normal nowadays. But I think that it's more than just the commercialized aspect of things. It's definitely about people and friendships and showing people that we care.
Yeah. No, I like that.
I also, that's one thing I do during Christmas that maybe you can't do, or most people in the country probably don't do, is I tend to like to go golfing on Christmas and New Year's because I live in Arizona and you can do that. So,
I did. So one time, and this was actually in a place that's not known for being warm, but 2002, my brother was getting married in the DC Virginia area, and he got married at Christmas time, and it happened to be unseasonably warm for whatever reason. So it got up to like 55 degrees. I think it was December 23rd or 24th. So my dad and me and a friend of ours from high school and some other guys and my other brother, we got together and said, let's go golfing. And it was windy as all get out, but I think it was either Christmas Eve or the day before, and played 9 holes, and I played horribly. But the one bright spot to the round was on one of the par 3 holes. I got my tee shot within 2 feet of the hole, and was able to par that hole and feel slightly respectable. That's not golf. It's that golf curse. It's like I'm so terrible at golf, but it's that one shot that you hit that just happens to be pretty good that makes you want to go back and play again.
What's this golf?
It'll bring you back.
Justin, what is this sport they talk about?
It's called flog back in the day.
Flog.
Yeah, that's what the real name was. It's called flog, and then
It should be called that.
Like originally, but
it should.
I hear another F word a lot on the golf course, but I don't think it's flog.
No, it's not flog. Rhymes with truck, I think.
Yeah. I got a question for you guys though, as far as Christmas goes. What's your favorite Christmas song?
Ooh.
The one that's got banned, actually. Baby, it's cold out.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I love that song.
That is a really good song.
And it's terrible.
Did you like the Elf version? Did you like the Elf version with
that was
Zooey
pretty good.
Deschanel or whatever?
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Will Ferrell singing it together. That was great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough for me because I genuinely love Christmas music so much. I start listening in October.
That guy.
I'm obsessed with Christmas music. Now, if we're talking like traditional old school church music, because growing up in the church, my mom being a church choir director, me being a church music director for years and all that stuff, like old school traditional, like choir music church, to hear the King's College Choir in England sing In the Bleak Midwinter is like still brings chills to my mind. But new school, like, you know, more modern, like say traditional modern Christmas music, the one that's just called The Christmas Song, chestnuts roasting on an open fire, written by Mel Torme, that doesn't get any better than that for me.
I think there's another song.
Velvet, man.
I think Messenger does it, and it's a Little Drummer Boy. They redid it.
Oh, that was
that Messenger? Who was that?
King and Country, I think.
King for King. Yeah,
that is awesome.
It is incredible. We actually did that at church a few years ago. Our own version. I mean, basically, we just did their version of it, and we got a bunch of big drums, and I got to be up there on stage with this bass drum as big as me, with these big mallets just pounding away on the. It was awesome.
Cool.
It was a lot of fun.
That's a great song. What about you?
My boy Sean Miles, dude. Sean Miles was just chiming in real quick with "Christmas in Hollis" by Run DMC.
Oh, I love
I like that.
That is best hip hop Christmas song of all time.
Sorry, Justin, go ahead.
Mine has a little bit of a story to it. So I have like he's dead now, but he was my grandpa, and he was a Purple Heart vet, and he always told this story about the song "Silent Night" when he was in the war in Germany, and one night, all of a sudden, all the gunshots, it was Christmas night, and all the gunshots stopped, and you heard all the Germans in the background singing "Silent Night." In the background over everybody.
Seriously,
I got fighting for just that one night, and he always told that story all the time. So that's got to be a memorable song for me. "Silent Night."
That's
you know, that experience, and he made it back from the war with the Purple Heart and all that. But that was that was something that's always stuck with me. So
that's beautiful.
Very cool, brother. Very cool.
Legit, the arms on my the hairs on my arms are standing up right now. That's just that's a beautiful story.
Like that, but one of those wars. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, that's enough to make. You're right, man. That's enough to make the arms on your hair stand up.
I do talk.
What's yours, Ed?
I think, man, really one that strikes me every time, and I got to stop and listen, is probably Noel and the version by Chris Tomlin and Lauren Daigle.
Oh, that's a great one.
It's out right now. It's like, dude, are you kidding me? It's like, dude, every time it sounds so good.
I don't think Lauren Daigle makes a bad song.
She's so good.
Incredible.
She can sing.
I actually did one of these days.
I bet she's not so good at selling cigars, though. See, that's why we're all different.
See, that's all. We all have different spots. Years ago, one of these days I have to, because I have like a not so good live recording of it, but one of these days I have to sit down and like record it for real. I did like a total rearrangement of the first Noel.
Really?
Like the lyrics are the same, but it's a completely different time signature, different melody, different everything. And I thought it was kind of fun. It was kind of cool, I thought. But one of these days I have to actually like record it and put it up on SoundCloud or something.
That'd be cool.
So
that'd be cool.
I might do that one day.
Maybe by the 18th by the next show.
I'll get it. I'll get that done with my schedule. Yeah.
Dude, Christmas is coming, bro. We don't sitting around waiting here.
Oh, well, I'll call my brother and see if he can get me in the studio. All right. I think it's time. Mystery beverage. All right. So it's really good. As you can see, I only have like a tiny little bit left. This rum is very good. I don't know Panamanian rums as well as I know Dominican rums. And
he always gets you with this too. It's like something you will never think it is.
Exactly.
The only Panamanian rum that I can think of right now that I have had before and enjoyed a lot is El Dorado.
Does it taste like that?
A little bit.
Oh, let's make this bigger.
It's Kirkland again.
That's what I said. Again.
You did it to me again. It's Kirkland. It's Costco again.
Dude.
Now, do we know who makes that?
We don't worry about that.
Because that might be El Dorado rum.
Yeah. So Costco's always has a bourbon or a scotch or rum that they get farmed out. And I've been introducing them to it lately. And I think I don't drink, but I think from everything I've heard, they punch way beyond their weight.
It's very good. And their price points are fantastic because they just put their own brand name on it instead of, whatever. So I'm going to do some digging. I'm find out if it's El Dorado.
Let me know.
Yeah. Thank you for this. This is a good pour. But
Now,
I think
is it time?
I think it is. All right, guys. It is now time for this week's Numero de los Muertos. And as always, Numero de los Muertos is brought to us by our friends at Smoke Inn. Thinking the same thing.
I'm ready for Chinese food.
I want Chinese food right now. I totally.
That was a catchy
totally
jingle right there, dude. I'm like, dude, I'm digging it.
Man, I mean, I'm gonna have to see after the show's over if there's a place I can order like late night pot stickers or something. Seriously, no, I won't do that, but I wish I could. All right, this week's Numero de los Muertos.
What do you got?
The number is 19.
19.
So Ed, if you're not familiar with Numero de los Muertos, we give a number, and you, along with our viewers, and along with Justin and Raul, you get to play 20 questions or 40 questions or whatever it takes to guess why these people died. Or in this particular case, where.
Okay.
So this is not a cause of death. This is a location.
Location. This is real. This isn't fiction.
This is real. It is not fiction.
Okay. Is this on land?
Yes.
And is this location like a type of place or an actual physical city, or
It's a type of place.
so this can be around the world?
Could be anywhere, and there are examples from everywhere in the
So
world.
It's a type of place. Is
Yeah.
it a workplace accident or something related
No.
to that? Okay.
See, Ed, you had to tell him to talk. Now he won't stop.
How about a volcano for David Floyd?
No volcanoes.
Mitchell says on a cruise ship.
There was one example that did happen on a ship, but that's not a deciding factor.
Okay.
I was going to say the North Pole, but
Yeah.
Not. I mean, maybe there was. Yeah.
Not a tsunami.
Not a tsunami.
more dying to tsunami.
Is it weather related?
Not weather related.
Are there animals involved?
Very good question. No animals were involved.
Stupidity involved.
Stupid. I think in some of the cases, I mean, I'd have to dig through, but in some of the cases, this is a particular type of location that
Just
we're looking
to pour
for.
some salt in the Women Packers fans tonight from Tom.
Hey, Dax. Hello, Dax. How you doing, buddy?
It could be.
And then we got Dax is rock climbing
It's not rock climbing.
in the bathroom from David Floyd.
There's a lot more than 19 die a year.
Mitchell.
In a home.
So I'm gonna give David and Mitchell.
Okay.
So David narrowed it down to in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Mitchell nailed it
In a home.
with on the toilet.
Oh, I couldn't
on
see
the
that
toilet.
camera.
Yep.
So
Mainly heart attacks?
in
Pushing
Are they
History.
breathing
history,
too hard?
as far as documented cases of people dying while they were on the toilet,
Okay.
there are 19 of those
Is this
cases.
the number 2 or number 1?
I
Well, one was
I don't know.
Elvis,
Okay.
right? That's what Elvis died.
Elvis was one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pot stickers might be involved too. You got the way to know.
What a shitty way to go.
So the earliest case found, not officially a toilet, but
Outhouse?
in 581 BC in China, somebody fell into a latrine pit.
Ooh.
and died.
Ooh.
That would be really crappy.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
I saw that at a porta potty at the Phoenix Open. Some girl dropped her phone in there and tried to go in after it. She was drinking a little.
oh yeah,
She came out blue.
Yeah,
And-
I was gonna actually look like a Smurf.
the most
came
recent
out blue.
case that's documented was in Seoul, South Korea, and this person had a heart attack on their toilet at home. And then there's many other cases in between.
Well, David Floyd almost died on toilet once, he said.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Pushing a big one out.
Well, and the most famous case is got to be Elvis.
Yeah.
August 16th, 1977, Elvis Presley died from cardiac arrest while he was on the toilet in his home.
Mm-hmm.
And although I don't think the coroner ever definitively said, but it was suspected by many that the cardiac arrest was brought on by a drug overdose. I don't know if that's true, really, because coroner never really checked for anything like that. It just they tested for cardiac arrest and they said, yeah, that's what
1 + 1 is 2.
Well, yeah, you're a firefighter. You've seen a lot of medical stuff, so 1 + 1 is 2. Yeah.
Yeah. 19
to all
people
your
die
questions.
on the toilet. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Mary- and to all a good night. So that was this week's Numero de los Muertos. All right, let's jump into the lightning round. And the lightning round brought to us by our friends at J.C. Newman Cigar Company, America's oldest family-owned premium cigar maker, creators of the popular Brick House, Perla Del Mar, Diamond Crown, and The American. J.C. Newman Cigar Company operates out of their 112-year-old El Reloj Cigar Factory in historic Cigar City, Tampa, Florida. For more information on their cigars or visitor experience, please visit jcnewman.com. All right. So, Ed, this is cool because your first time on the show, you get some of the original OG lightning round questions. All right. So, let's start with this one. If you could hear the thoughts of one living person for 10 minutes, who would it be and why?
Thoughts of one living person. There's not a lot of people I want to spend that much time listening to. Let's see. Gee, this is supposed to be a lightning round. I'm failing already.
No,
You're okay.
there's
We got
no
time, brother.
clock on this thing.
Oh, that's good. Let's see. I think that someone that would be really interesting to hear for 10 minutes and hear what their inner thoughts are would be Dave Chappelle.
Yes. Great. I love that. The people have answered that before, and I think it's a great answer.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle usually says what he's thinking.
Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah,
there's
so
a lot
that's
of
why I want to know what's going on in his head. Is because
Yeah.
we hear the stuff that comes out, dude. I think
Yeah.
it's cool.
I don't think there's a filter
No.
in between there, but I still would just in case. I'd love to hear it. The
Mhm.
process. Yeah. All right. So Ed, if you were about to get into a fight, what would your soundtrack music be?
Not much of a fighter. But shoot, if I got to that point, I guess we're going. So maybe Green Lights by NF.
I don't think
Have
I've
you even heard
familiar.
that song?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a Detroit rapper guy.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'll have to look that up.
Green lights, though, man. Just all I see is green lights. Let's go.
Nice. I love it.
It's go time, baby.
All right.
Oh, it's on me. So the most underrated fast food and the most overrated fast food.
Oh, well, overrated. I might make some people mad for sure on this one, but I'll go with Whataburger.
I've never had it.
Oh, what?
Oh,
You
dude.
said that a couple weeks ago. Somebody said that.
Yeah, Whataburger's good. It's in Texas.
I thought it was one of the guys from Lovely Cigars
Yeah.
that said that said the same thing.
Same
said
thing,
Whataburger was overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
And what's
Underrated.
underrated?
Shoot. Let's see. You guys are asking questions. I don't really do a whole lot. I'm kind of a fat guy, so I try not to eat a lot of, fast food. Nobody laughs there. Jeez, that
I'm a fat guy because I eat a lot of fat.
You just
food.
see my head tilt like a dog. I'm like,
that would kind of hurt my heart there that nobody laughed. It was like, yeah, you're right, bro. You shouldn't do that. No. Let's see. Underrated fast food. Shoot, I don't know, man.
What's your favorite?
When I go, I'm always getting into tacos, man. It's like, for me, it's like, the whole birria taco thing going on right now. So I'm thinking like local chains nobody would know. But any of the birria taco joints, man, I think that's the underrated stuff. You got to get into that stuff. And it's like French dip tacos, man. It's wonderful.
mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I love those. And Dave, so loyal viewer David Floyd, I love you, brother. The loaded hash browns of Dunkin'. I'll say this: I've had the food items, the non-donut food items from Dunkin' a couple times. I really haven't enjoyed it.
I didn't know they had non-donuts.
They have breakfast sandwiches and stuff like that. I just didn't like it. I didn't think it tasted like microwave.
No, the only thing to go to Dunkin' Donuts is for donuts. That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe a cup of coffee.
Yeah, coffee, donuts, but the regular food there, I haven't enjoyed it myself. But I'll try the loaded hash browns. I'll give them a shot. I mean, what's it going to do?
Yeah, I'm down with In-N-Out is what I'm seeing too. In-N-Out, I think, is not really underrated because people just love them, especially where I come from in the West. It's like a big thing, but they're definitely good.
All right,
yeah.
Ed.
In-N-Out burger, I tried to like it.
Yeah.
Emmett from Blind Man's Puff, tried to get me to love In-N-Out burger as much as he loves it. And I tried it a couple times, and I probably, just to save Emmett's feelings, I probably pretended that I loved it more than I did. But I think the burgers are okay. I think the fries for the first 2 minutes out of the fryer are great. Past 2 minutes, they're like shoe leather.
Yeah.
So if you don't get the fries immediately out of the fryer, they're terrible.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ed. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The zombies are coming. Watch out behind you.
Dude. Right up my alley.
Okay. You get to pick 3 people for your zombie apocalypse survival squad. Who do you pick and why?
3 people from anywhere?
The cigars.
Industry related people. Sorry,
Cigar
cigar,
industry.
cigar industry related people on your zombie apocalypse survival squad.
Well, shoot.
Yeah, you can't say SEAL Team 6. I mean, that would be a great pick. But
Yeah, I would just immediately pick 3 of them.
No, my head went straight to freaking Norman Reedus right away, dude. I'm like, that dude he knows what's up. Freaking motorcycle guy too. It's like that dude knows what's up.
Yeah.
Let's see. From the cigar industry. Let's see. I bet. I would say, just for entertainment value, seeing him try to fight him, I think Pete Johnson would be my boy for sure. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Seeing
Absolutely.
him trying to mess with those things. That's a good dude.
Sean
let's
Miles
see,
said that someone that runs slower than you, Ed, you need a victim.
Oh, shoot. There's probably a couple of those out there. It's good.
You don't have to outrun the zombies. You just have to outrun the guys you're with.
Yeah. So I'm one of these guys that probably, there's a few friends that will be like, yeah, I'm going to go hang out at Ed's house if things go weird. So I live in Arizona for a reason. So a lot of ways that's sort of, I don't think from the perspective or the perspective of protection, because, you should definitely always have those sorts of, a lot of ammunition and such. And usually I'm okay there. But trying to go into some of these things, man,
I get what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe shoot. I like my boy, one of the guys locally, one of our guys. I think it'd be awesome to have, Mike the Greek out there, because that dude would just talk the zombies to death. So I think that'd be cool. It'd be fun to be like, damn, those guys are going to be occupied with him for a while. So
He'd make a sale too.
Yeah, he'd probably make a sale there too. He's a good dude. Let's see. Shoot, man. I mean, man, I don't, I'm trying to think of some guys that would be good for that. I'm not sure the cigar industry is full of guys that you'd want in your corner for zombie apocalypse. You know, looking at some of these guys, I don't know.
Well, somebody you could outrun.
Yeah, let's see.
Somebody with a plane, their own island.
Yeah, somebody with a plane or an island, or
See, I
somebody
don't
with
get
lots of
invited to
guns.
planes.
I
Yeah, I don't get
that's got-
invited to planes, man. I think I'm fine there. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe I think Nestor Placencia could probably get around pretty darn easy.
Yeah,
So that's probably a dude that would be able to get us around pretty good. So I think that would be a great dude to have in the corner.
absolutely. Fantastic choices.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a good team. All right, let's
Like,
jump.
maybe I put more thought into it than normal. Maybe people just rattle them off. I don't know, but
No,
man,
no,
I
you
just-
did.
it's
You did great.
It's important. It's important.
we get all
Zombies are
kinds
coming,
of
bro.
different
It's
teams.
important.
We get teams of just like introspective, like conversational people that'll just be good to hang out with. We get
Mhm.
teams of people that have lots of guns. We get teams of people where
Wanna
maybe
rebuild the cigar community
Yeah,
after the zombie
rebuild it.
apocalypse.
Yeah.
Oh
So-
wow. Yeah.
all answers are good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was good. All
I
right,
think
let's
it'd be
jump
great to have
into-
Luciano around for sure, just because of the fact that there's going to be tobacco everywhere. He's got secret squirreled everywhere. We
Yeah.
won't run out of cigars
There you go.
after that. So that would be a good point.
and he'll find, if you're traveling across the country, in the United
Mhm.
States, or especially if you happen to get trapped during the zombie apocalypse while you're in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Oh,
Johnny's got you.
I mean, while the tobacco is like, the tobacco in the bales is
Right.
like ready.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this stuff is ready to be rolled into
Yeah.
cigars. What a horrible thing that
Could
would
you
be.
imagine him locked up in a house for a couple months while you get all the zombies situated?
Dude,
What do you come up with?
I'll be out front on guard or up in the top story or whatever. I've got everything scoped out
Yeah.
yardage wise and everything like that while he's making cigars, so
Yeah.
that we can end up, we don't
Yeah.
have to have the shortage there. So that'd be a pretty
Exactly.
good little setup.
Yeah. Just bring me a cigar every couple hours and I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that. All right, let's jump into this week's Notable Smokable. Notable Smokables brought to us by Luciano Cigars. Notable cigars, notable passion, notable purpose. All right. So, Ed, each week, all of us name a cigar that we've smoked recently that was notable to us. Now, this could be a cigar that's been on the market for decades that we just smoked for the first time in a very long time. Or this could be a cigar that's brand new to the market that we tried for the first time ever. Obviously, you're smoking mostly Luciano cigars, but if you ever get a chance to jump outside of the company portfolio, what is something you smoked recently that stood out to you?
Let's see. I think probably a cigar that I smoked fairly recently that I actually really liked was the Olmec cigar. It's a pretty darn good
Oh, yeah.
cigar. I was impressed with that.
I like that one, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Raul, what about you?
The Namakubi
Oh, yes.
at Room 101.
Yeah,
Mm.
smoked that before the show tonight.
Yeah.
Old OG Namakubi.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff. Justin, what about you?
I'm gonna go with the Espinosa 10-year. I had that one night, I think, this week. So that was a good one overall from start to finish.
Yeah, that's a good cigar. And I think there's still some available at Burn down in Burnsville, if I'm not mistaken. My notable smokable, I went back a little bit, a few years, not a super long time, to the original release, La Flor Dominicana, the LFD La Nox. And that's the one with the sort of bluish, purplish, and gray band. Really enjoy that cigar. Nice, long, it's that sort of Churchill size. Slow burner, tons of smoke output, a lot of flavor, a lot of spice, a lot of sweetness. Yummy. Good cigar from LFD. So definitely enjoyed that one. Just this past week, actually. So that was this week's Notable Smokables, brought to us by Luciano Cigars, improving lives through fine cigars. Visit lucianocigars.com to learn more. All right, guys, we're getting ready to close out the year 2023. So let's give you the skinny on what we have coming up on How About That Cigar Live in the next few weeks. And our coming attractions brought to you by AJ Fernandez. Born and raised in Cuba, AJ Fernandez now produces unparalleled premium cigars in Esteli, Nicaragua. The AJ Fernandez portfolio of cigars provides blend strength and flavor profiles to match the preferences of any premium cigar consumer. Whether it's New World, Dias de Gloria, San Lotano, Enclave, or Bellas Artes, you are sure to be satisfied with a premium cigar from AJ Fernandez. All right, so coming up next week on the 18th, that is our annual year in review show. So we're going to go through the box that's on the wall behind us. That's got cigar bands that have been smoked throughout the year. We're also we'll go through that box and talk about some of the stuff we smoked a lot. We'll talk about some of the key events of the cigar industry that happened in 2023, and sort of have a nice fun time closing out the year. Then we'll be off for the holidays, and you will see us back again on January 8th. And that is when we will present our top 10 lists, top 10 cigars for 2023. Then following that, on January 15th, we have none other than Abe DeBabna, Honest Abe himself, from Smoke Inn, with a little bit of the Great Smoke 2024 preview. So that's going to be exciting. This is the year of the dragon for the Great Smoke. So exciting theme. I think it's going to be fun. I'm still hungry for Chinese food right now.
I hope the whole 3-4 days that we're down there is all Chinese food.
I'd be okay with that, honestly. I would be okay with that. But honestly, if we're in,
I'll be hungry.
We're in South Florida. I'd be okay if it's tacos too, because they make fire tacos down there.
Yeah, Boynton Beach Chinese food. I don't know. Maybe it's good.
Hey, every town has a Chinese place.
Hey, yeah,
dude, I love Abe. Abe is such a good dude, man. You guys are gonna have a great time down there, man. Such a good dude. He's
a lot of fun. The event he puts on is absolutely stellar. So I can't wait.
Super special friend of the show.
Yeah, cannot wait. All right, so Ed, thank you so much for being on the show. If you would please give our viewers and listeners an idea, where is the best place for them to keep up with everything going on with Luciano Cigars?
Yeah, I'd definitely follow us at Luciano Cigars on Instagram. We do a lot there for sure. All the different social media platforms, getting all that active. LucianoCigars.com. But I think that really Instagram, social media stuff, you're going to see all that out there. And cigars are so good. Pay attention to your local podcast and organizations such as How About That Cigar, because they're always going to have all the updates of the great stuff we're doing. So that's pretty much what we do. Go through socials.
Fantastic. Brother, we appreciate your time tonight, man. Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thanks, brother.
Dude,
God bless.
Man, you guys are great people, man. I really thank you so much and putting up with my my messiness and craziness out here, but I just love people and love cigars. So thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks, brother.
All right, viewers and listeners, guys, thank you so much for being the best part of How About That Cigar Live. We thank you so much for watching here live on Facebook and live on YouTube. And of course, if you're watching after the fact on Facebook or YouTube, or listening after the fact on the audio podcast, guys, it means the world to us. Thank you so much. It would mean the world to us even more if you would take a second to subscribe to all the channels and click the like button on all the videos. It really, really means a lot to us. If you have questions for any of us, you can email us on the website, howaboutthatcigar.com. Be sure to follow us on all your favorite social media platforms at HBT Cigar. And of course, until we see you guys next time, burn cigars,
not bridges.
Thanks, guys. any comments, opinions, viewpoints, or statements presented or uttered by guests on the HBTC podcast, HBTC live video streams, and all other media from HBT Media LLC are solely those of the individual and do not necessarily represent the opinions or viewpoints of How About That Cigar or its parent company, HBT Media LLC, any of our advertising partners, or the premium cigar industry. The primary purpose of How About That Cigar is to entertain and to encourage activity and growth within the community of people who enjoy or want to learn about the enjoyment of premium cigars.